Hi guys, I'm Trish. I'll say straight up, if anyone has any questions or anything, I'm not going to keep looking to read all the questions. I'll read them at the end and then answer them then, if anyone even has any. So yeah, just you'll have to wait till the end to get the answers. This one is about buying and taking multivitamins after having weight loss surgery. So that's if you've been lap banded or sleeved or bypassed. And there are some differences between the surgeries. Obviously with bypass you have very different requirements too if you've been lap banded or sleeved. But I've been lap banded, had the lap band removed, and now I'm sleeved. So this is what I take. Now I will also say I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a pharmacist, I'm not a dietitian. So I'm only going through this process of what I did for myself. Don't run off and buy shit just because it's what I have. Do what I did. Talk to your GP or your bariatric surgeon about it to make sure that you are having what's right for you. This is just what I did. And I'm going to go through it with you because I know I get really bamboozled when I go to buy multivitamins. Like if you go to the supermarket or the chemist or whatever, and there's just racks and racks and racks of all these different brands, all these different kinds. They've all, a multivitamin doesn't just have a set list of ingredients. They've all got different stuff. Some don't have some that others have got, and they're all different amounts of the ingredients in there, and there's all different units of measurement. Some of them are grams, some of them are micrograms, some of them are international units of measurement. There's all different kinds. It's absolutely mad. And to try to make sense of it all, and then you've got your RDI, which is your recommended daily intake, and then you've got your ULs, which is your upper limits, like upper safe limits, and it gets absolutely crazy. Now, I was recommended to take BN vitamins. I don't, and I never will. They're really, really expensive, and they just don't have what other vitamins have got in them. I've also been, because I'm in a lot of weight loss surgery groups and all this sort of stuff, a lot of women I know take Elevate. I won't take that one either. When I first got lap banded, I took Baroccas, and I started taking Baroccas because of the lap band. I could put the tablet in a glass of water or in a glass of cordial, diet cordial, and let it dissolve, let the fizziness go, let it go flat for a little while, and then drink it down. I didn't have to worry about swallowing tablets. And for a little while after I had my sleeve done as well, I still took the Baroccas because they're nice and easy. You can just drink them down. I know a lot of people like to take the chewable tablets because it's easier. A lot of people after having these surgeries have a lot of trouble swallowing big tablets. And a lot of people have to take a lot of tablets for other things, so that the less they have to swallow down, the better. I now take this one. You would have seen it in the thumbnail. It's a vegan multivitamin. I get it online. It was recommended to me by my son, whose housemate is a vegan and actually takes this one. It's not a big tablet. Well, for me, it's not a big tablet. My magnesium and calcium are much bigger. That's how big they are. If I need to do that to be fancy like the other fancy YouTubers with their makeup. But yeah, so it's not a big one to take. You'll notice it was green. When I did first start taking it, my poos were green for a little bit, but that settled down. I've been taking these ones since, I don't know, a month or two after I got sleeved. So since about this time last year. So around about June last year. I have since had a lot of my levels of vitamins and minerals checked, and they're all fine with the exception of one, which I did speak to my GP about. And I don't think I've made this video before, and you're just going to have to put up with that ring light reflecting off my glasses because I haven't figured out yet how to have that not happen. I didn't want to make this video properly until I'd been on these new multivitamins for at least a few months and had my levels tested so that I could come back to you and say, yes, they do actually work. So I did get those tested in January this year. So I'd been on those for about 6 or 7 months. So plenty of time for them to work and indicate to me whether or not they were working. Now, you can't get all of your vitamin levels checked. Like, you can't really check things like your vitamin C levels or your vitamin B levels because they're water-soluble vitamins. And if you take in too much, you just weed them out for the most part. You can take toxic levels of vitamin B, but you've really, really, really got to take a lot. So I had my copper, zinc and selenium all measured. They're all fine, within normal limits. My iron, within normal limits. It never used to be, but that was more about my uterus than my dietary intake, but I've still got to keep an eye on that. My vitamin D, which in the past has been too high, along with my vitamin A, that was really high at one stage too, because there's a lot of vitamin A and vitamin D in butter. I was eating a lot of butter. But it's absolutely fine. It's supposed to be over 50, and it is. So that one's good. Calcium is within normal range. My B12, and I will talk about this again later, my B12 is within the normal range. It's 286, over 700 is too high, so it's absolutely fine. And actually, I'll get it out of the way now. The reason that I wanted to talk to you about the vitamin B12 is the B12 I'm taking now has almost 17 times the RDI in it. Almost 17 times per day what I'm meant to be having. And when I saw that, I had an absolute fit, thinking, oh my God, I'm going to die of B12 poisoning. But my levels are fine. 286, as long as they're under 700, it's fine. My folate as well, because I think the level of that on here, oh no, that's fine. My folate is within normal range, that's fine. The only one that was really too high was my vitamin B1. That was 232. And it's meant to be up to 200. And I do remember when I got the results of this, I did speak to my GP about it at the time, and she said that's okay because it's only a little bit high. But I've got to go and see her next week about something else, so I will bring that up with her and see if that needs to be rechecked, because you can get into trouble, as I said, if your B group vitamins do get too high. And that B1, yeah, I'm taking more than 8 times the recommended amount per day, so that could be why. And I'm hoping that it will now be okay. Otherwise, I'm going to have to change my multivitamin, and I really don't want to. And my vitamin A levels have gone back down to a normal range as well. So all of my vitamin levels are within the normal range except for my B1, but that's okay because it's only a little bit high. So as I was saying, they do the ingredients list in all different units, international units, micrograms, milligrams. And so when I've been comparing all of these, because I compared 4 different brands, I did do the conversions. So because on some of them, like for instance, the vitamin A in one brand was in milligrams or micrograms, sorry, but in another gram it was measured in international units. So I did my conversion so that they're all in the same thing, so that I'm not comparing apples with oranges. What else? Oh, I didn't compare these. I didn't do a proper comparison, but these Deva tablets that I take, and you saw the size of them, you can get them in a mini tablet as well. And when I saw, and they were cheaper as well, and when I saw that, I thought, oh, everyone's going to love that, and I'll love it. I'll just buy the smaller ones. But because they're smaller, they've got half or less than everything that's in the bigger tablet. So if you wanted to get them, but you'll be taking 2 of them, so they're not going to be as cheap as what it seems. But they do have at least the RDA of the B group vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin D2 and vitamin E. But they don't have, there's a bunch of stuff in these ones. It's the greens, some stuff that's listed underneath all of the, vitamins and minerals. Things like lutein, citrus bioflavonoids, apple pectin, betaine HCl, rutin, green food, vegetable, herbal blend. That's not in the mini tablets. But I thought I'd still let you know about those in case you still wanted to get those instead because they're much smaller. So that's it for those notes. Look at see the research I've done for you lot. So I compared the BN vitamins, which are the ones that were recommended by the dietitian at my bariatric appointments at the Alfred. I compared Elevate and Barocca. Well, not Baroccas. I call them Baroccas because that's what everyone knows what Baroccas are. But I was buying the Woolies Select brand, much cheaper. Baroccas cost, I don't even know, like $10, $12, $15 or something. And the Devas, which are the ones that I get now. I'll go over the pricing first. The BN multivitamins, which I've not been able to find in any shops. You have to get them online. I did my pricing for them for the purpose of this through cost price supplements because I have bought things from them before and find them pretty good with pricing. The pricing across the board though was all very similar. The best price I could find was actually, and I can't remember which company it was online, but if you bought 3 bottles of the BN vitamins, it was about just over $90, and you got free postage. So that would bring the price down to $30 each. But not everyone has $90 to throw away on vitamins at a time. But if you do, you can find them online if you want to get the BNs, because I'm not telling you what to actually buy. The BN vitamins worked out to 75 cents each, and I was told that I would need to take 2 of them, which I actually have beef with as well, and I'll go into that in a minute. The Elevate, which you can just get at Woolies, I priced them at Woolies, they work out to 26 cents each if you take 1 per day, and that would get you at least your RDI on some of the things on there. The Baroccas work out to, if you buy the Woolies Select ones, they've gone down to $4.50 for 15 of them. They work out to be 30 cents each. And the Deva, I've done 2 pricings for them because their postage is a little bit high. If I just buy 1 bottle of 90 tablets, it works out to 33 cents each. But what I normally do to cut down the price of them is I buy 2 of them, because then it cuts down the price. It doesn't cut down the postage because I'm still paying the same amount, but I'm not paying it twice, if that makes sense. Or if my daughter needs vitamins, we share the postage. So if I buy 2 bottles of them, which is a 6-month supply, it brings the price down to 25 cents each, which makes it the cheapest for me. Now, the reason that I'm taking the Deva over all of the other ones, and that's what I was going to say. The BN vitamins, I was told if I was taking those that I would need to take 2 per day. I don't know why, because most of the ingredients in there have the RDI in them anyway. So why would I be taking 2? Unless something happens to your body when you have weight loss surgery and you're not able to actually absorb all of those vitamins, and that would be the case with a bypass, but I'm not bypassed. So if you're going to be taking the BN vitamins and doing as your surgeon tells you to do, and they're telling you to take 2 per day, that's going to set you back $1.50 per day. Do what you're told to do. Do your own research and decide for yourself. But I'm telling you, those Deva vitamins only take 1 a day. Now, I compared all of them. I wrote down all of the ingredients and the amount of stuff in all of them. Across the board, Deva has everything that all of the other ones have combined, because some of them don't have everything. The next best one as far as ingredients list goes is the BN vitamins. But then if you look at the Elevate and the Barocca, they don't have any vitamin A. The Barocca doesn't have any vitamin D or vitamin E. The Elevate and Barocca don't have vitamin K1, and actually the Deva doesn't have the K1 either, but that is the only thing that it doesn't have, And I don't really need to take a vitamin K1 supplement because I can get that from eating greens and meat and eggs. And I did speak to my GP about that. She said, yeah, I don't even know why they put K1 in the other ones. You don't need it. The Elevit and Berocca don't have inositol, which is good for helping to regulate insulin, serotonin and dopamine. So being a weight loss surgery patient, my insulin's probably fine now anyway. I wouldn't be pre-diabetic anymore, but it certainly doesn't hurt to have it there. But I also struggle with depression and anxiety, so that the fact that the inositol actually helps with the neurotransmitters in my brain, that's a plus for me. So the inositol is only in the BN and the Deva vitamins. It's not in the Elevit and the Berocca. The Deva has the most iron in it. It has 18 milligrams, which is 100% of the RDI, and I need the iron. I might not anymore, but I'm trying to get my iron levels up a little bit since the hysterectomy, and I want to keep them up there. The Beroccas don't have any iron. The BN only has 12 milligrams of iron, and the Elevit only has 5 milligrams of iron. You might as well not take it. Magnesium, none of them really have that much. The Deva only has 10% of the RDI of the magnesium, whilst the Berocca has the most. That's got 100 milligrams. The BN multivitamins have 52.5, so it's only a little bit higher, and the difference that would make a difference between 10% and about 12 or 13% RDI. It's not worth the difference. That doesn't bother me because I need really high iron supplementation because I have fibromyalgia, so I take a separate magnesium supplement anyway. So that there's only 10% in the Deva works for me. Otherwise, I'd be having too much. Iodine, there's no iodine in Beroccas, no copper in Berocca. And also there's the highest copper is in the Elevit. That's got 900 micrograms, which would be probably about 45% RDI. The Deva's only got 200 milligram, which is 10% RDI of the copper. I looked up, you get plenty of copper when eating green veggies, leafy green veggies, so I'm not worried about that. And, my copper levels are fine going by my blood tests. Zinc, it has the highest amount of zinc in all of it, but that still comes in at only 73% of the RDI. Now, when I was lap banded, I was deficient in zinc. My zinc was low, so I had to start supplementing separately zinc, even though there was zinc in Berocca. There's only a tiny little bit more zinc in the Deva, but I can't remember if I said I got my zinc tested. I think I did. Is that one that I said? Zinc. My zinc is now within normal levels, so that's fine. I'm not worried about that. What else? And it's only 73%, but you also get zinc out of meat, eggs and cheese and nuts, I think, as well, but I didn't put them down on my list because I don't eat a real lot of nuts. There's no selenium, manganese or chromium in Berocca, and there's no chromium or only a little bit of chromium in the Elevit. So the Deva has everything except for the K1. The BN vitamins are the only one that has the K1, and the Deva has, for the most part, higher levels of everything. Now, as I said, I think the B1, I've got to get the levels of that checked. I might be just taking too much of that. And certainly the B12, but my levels are okay, so I'm not too fussed about that. Now, there is, as I said, a list of stuff that's only in the Deva brand, and that is the Biotin, which is, when I looked it up, it said it's normally known as B7 or B8, so it's another B group vitamin. It's only got 25% of that, but there's plenty of that in sweet potato, eggs, cheese, spinach, mushrooms, which I have. There's calcium in the Deva vitamins, and it's not in any of the other ones. Now, there's only 10% of the RDI of the calcium in the Deva, and it's calcium carbonate, which is not the good calcium to be taking. If you want to take a calcium supplement, take the calcium citrate. Because I'm over 50 and I'm looking right down the barrel of menopause, I take a separate calcium supplement so that there's only 10% of my RDI of calcium in the Deva. That's fine, and it's not the good calcium anyway. Your body absorbs the citrate better. So I take a separate calcium supplement. It's also got boron, choline, lutein, and the citrus bioflavonoids, apopectin, betaine, HCl, rutin, green food, vegetable, and herbal blend in it, which is, in case anyone's interested, where is it? Spirulina, alfalfa, ashwagandha, black cumin, broccoli, carrot, chamomile, chlorella, cinnamon, dandelion root, ginger root, parsley, rose hips, eleuthero, spinach. And that's hard for me to read even with my good glasses. That's why I sounded like a fool. So that's it. That's why I take the Deva. It comes down to price and the ingredients in there and the right amounts of all of those ingredients. And it's working for me, as evidenced by my blood test results. So, but as I said, please don't watch this video and go, right, she's taken the Deva, I'm going to go and get the Deva. If you speak to your surgeon or your GP or whatever and they say, yeah, the Deva sounds really great, I get them online from a company called iHerb. It's just IHERB, and I've been buying them from them. Their postage is fast, and I've never had any problems with them. So that's all I wanted to say, I think. And someone just wrote something. I'll just have a look what it is. Hello. It's from Cesar Mac, fellow Melburnian. Currently on BN multi calcium and iron, as I had trouble tolerating Elevate and Swiss calcium citrate. Oh, that's the one that I take. But we'll look into these. Hadn't heard of them. Thanks. You're welcome. But as I said, talk to your... What am I doing? Talk to your GP first, or your bariatric surgeon, or your nutritionist, your dietician, someone who's got a qualification. I'm just here telling you what my experience is. And that's it. What was I going to say? If you like it, like the video. If you think someone can benefit from it, share it. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe if you want to and hit the little wiggly bell thing to get notifications of when I make a new video. And that's it from me for now.